Hi everyone, it's Christina with naturallychristina.com, and here is Toby. He's always in my lap, so here he is. Say hi, Toby. Today I want to talk to you about natural remedies for sinus infections. We know here in the South, South Louisiana, lots of things are blooming this time of year. There's flowers everywhere, the grass is so green, all the trees, the marshes, everything, has some kind of plant life in it. They're spraying the sugarcane as well. So there's a lot going on in the environment, in the atmosphere. And of course, also at nighttime, they spray for mosquitoes. So all of this stuff is in the air and it can cause irritation to our sinuses. So the first thing you want to consider, before I go into the 5 things that I do, if I feel my sinuses starting to become inflamed or act up, the first thing you want to do is look at your diet. So if you get sinus infections and colds frequently, you're probably eating too much dairy and too much wheat. We know that these are both mucus-forming foods, so they cause mucus in the body. And whenever you get a cold or something like that, if you have lots of coughs and runny nose, those types of things, that's just your body's way of expelling all of the mucus. So it's a detoxification process. So if you're always having, if you're especially sensitive, you want to try taking dairy out of your diet as well as wheat, and you'll notice a huge difference. But if you're already doing that, here is 5 things that you can do to help your sinuses. So the first one is using a neti pot. This will help rinse your sinuses, so it'll take like the pollen or irritants out of your nose, and also the salt solution just helps to calm down the inflammation of the sinuses. So the sinuses, of course, run kind of across the forehead here and then down into the cheeks. So if you have sinusitis, it can be very painful because that sort of puts pressure on that area, and you'll have like a severe headache, even pressure behind your eyeballs, and it can be really painful. This is what I use. So instead of the traditional neti pot that looks like a little teapot that you can pour into your nose and drain the other side, you can also use this. If you're a newbie, I find it's easier. And what you do is you fill it up to the line with kind of lukewarm to warm water, not too hot, because you're sensitive there. So if it's hot water, it will irritate it. And then this particular one, it's Nelly Med Sinus Rinse. See that? It comes with a little saline solution, a little powder packet you put in, and you mix it, and then you squeeze the bottle, of course, up one nostril and let it come out the other. And it's not that hard to do. It does take a little bit of time to get the hang of it. You just basically breathe through your mouth when you're doing it instead of through your nose. If you breathe through your nose, obviously you'll kind of, swallow it. So it takes a little time, but don't be afraid to do it. It's very, very effective. And I just love doing this. It really helps. So the first time I feel any little tinge or any irritation or pressure, I go straight for the neti pot, and I do it twice a day, so in the morning and then before I go to bed. The second thing you could do is lemon ginger tea. So just hot water, steep with some ginger, so you would grate fresh ginger, let it steep in the water, squeeze some lemon, and then just drink that. You can use stevia or honey to sweeten it, and that tastes really good. And you can just kind of drink that throughout the day. We know lemon has vitamin C in it. It's also a detoxifier, so it really helps. And ginger is a natural anti-inflammatory, so getting that in your system, can really help. The third thing I do is, and I find it very effective, is using a steam bowl. So I take a bowl, I heat up some water like in a teapot, pour it in the bowl so it's nice and steamy. Put a towel over my head and just breathe it in. Now you can do that with just water, or you can add essential oils, so like thieves is a good one, or peppermint. And of course you want to close your eyes so that your eyes don't burn when you have that towel over your head, and you just inhale it. And of course these have natural properties, antiviral, antibacterial, all that good stuff, and it just really helps to open up your breathing passage and your sinuses, and it's really, really effective. So I love doing that. So that's 3 things. The next one, number 4, anytime you're sick, if you have a cold, sinus infection, really no matter what it is, you want to lighten your diet. So if you can, just do liquids. That's the best thing to do, because then your body can focus on healing and not focus so much on digestion, and it'll really help to do that. So I like to do like the clear soup from a Japanese restaurant. I'll do that, or I'll do coconut water is really helpful. You know, coconut water is very close to hemoglobin, so it's almost the exact chemistry as our blood, and so it really helps to hydrate you. It's the right, you know, mixture of electrolytes, sodium, potassium, all that. So it can really help to keep you hydrated, and it's just really refreshing. I love it. So I buy, I think it's Nirvana in the glass jar, and that's one of my favorites. I prefer buying in glass, you know, so it doesn't leach chemicals from the container. And so that's really good. So just try to lighten up your diet. Do mostly fluids just for maybe 1, 2, 3 days, depending on how you're feeling. And I noticed that that really helps me personally. And then the fifth thing would be using echinacea. So echinacea is an herb that helps to build the immune system. And it's not a tonic herb, so you don't stay on this forever. You can stay on it for about 3 weeks. So if you feel something coming on, or if you know you usually get irritated around certain times of the year, you can start with the echinacea, and that'll really help you. So that's my 5 tips. Again, the first one, a neti pot. The second one is the lemon ginger tea. The third one would be a steam bowl with your essential oils. So these, and I like Young Living, so that's the brand that I use, Young Living. And then the fourth one would be just not eating so much, just going kind of to a liquid diet where you're not feeling well so your body can focus on healing. And then the fifth one would be the echinacea. So getting that in your system really helps. So I hope these tips help you. You can find more health information and tips and stuff like that on my website at naturallychristina.com. And I hope you have a great day. Stay supernatural. I'll see you later. Bye, Toby.